Hello, folks. Welcome to another week of Homer's Ramblings. I've got a few topics I wanted to cover today. I'm running out of ideas of parables in the Bible to cover, so today I'm going to do more rambling thoughts. um, I wanted to start out. I've covered this before in previous podcasts where I just don't believe in coincidence anymore. Now that I've gotten to know God and Jesus is my friend. But so to me, a coincidence that's just, if it's too hard to ignore, it has to be some kind of sign, right? Anyway, last night I was watching a movie, and I won't even bore you with the details, but there was a scene right pretty close to the very beginning of the movie where this police officer lays down his phone on the table, and the time on the phone was 6:20. And I looked down at my clock, and it said 6:20. I said, I couldn't have planned that and timed that if I tried it 1,000 times. I don't know. It probably means nothing, but it's got to mean something, doesn't it? I mean, that's just too weird. Anyway, then in today's morning devotional, I liked it a lot, so I wanted to share this deal. In a previous podcast, I said, what is my purpose in life? What did God put me here for? And a friend of mine said, He put you here to be my friend, to go be all your friends and family, and just to be you. And sure enough, in today's devotional, it says, God did not make you to be somebody else. I do not drive you to be what you are not. Your pretense displeases me. When you let others' expectations drive you, you scatter your energy to the winds. So, Candy was right. God made me to be me, and that's all I need to do. Be me. Whatever that consists of. If I try to be somebody else, I'm failing. So, you got it right, Candy. And then I wanted to touch on how some people, stuff runs their life. They got to have the new Corvette or the new premium movie channel, whatever, stuff. And after I got cancer, I finally came to the rapid realization that stuff is zero importance anymore. Memories, friends, family, and memories, and your health are a lot more important than stuff. So I thought I'd share with you the most favorite memory of my entire life. And I've got several. What about the, well, the one I'll never forget, that's the number one, I don't think I can top it. Was when I was about 18 years old, I had a dirt bike motorcycle. I just loved to go riding trails and riding through the woods and where nobody else goes, just off the beaten path. And one time I was riding on this trail where it wasn't even a road, it was just a trail. It went beside a farm, and I just decided I'm going to check it out and see where it goes. And then, I got way back in there in the thickest woods, you ever saw in your life. And it was so beautiful. I decided to just stop right there and take a break and take it all in. I no sooner looked around, and right across from me, perpendicular to me, there was a creek with, a stream, and then there was a rock ledge on the other side. And laying on that rock ledge was a mama wolf and her puppies. cubs, whatever you call them. Anyway, if I can find a decent AI image or whatever of a facsimile there, I'll put it up here. If I can't find one, then I won't. But in 1976, we didn't have cell phones and with cameras and everything. We just had to lock our memories in here, which is better, I don't know. Anyway, I'll never forget that day, no matter how long I live. That was just so awesome. And like I said, I got several excellent memories, but that one tops the list. And then last but not least, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell everybody how thankful I am, and I'm sure you are too, but to have family and friends, especially when I came down with cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, almost 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. It knocked me for a loop. I couldn't even walk for probably 6 months. I had to be in a wheelchair, and had all kinds of friends and helped me out. And I would say family, but my family's 1,000 miles away, so I had to lean on friends. But Benny and Candy took me to doctor's appointments and brought me back home and excuse me, helped me out in all kinds of different ways. Mike and Lisa have been there. Benny and Candy and Mike and Lisa, they take turns. Whoever's available, take me to the doctor's appointment. And, wheel me around in a wheelchair and everything. And of course, they've done all kinds of other things too. Everybody has. But I want to try to thank everybody. Sammy, excellent friend, came to see me in the hospital. And then when I came home, and I decided to have a big sale to try to raise money and get rid of a bunch of stuff. I had so much stuff. And Sammy came down from Kermit with a friend of his, and they had 2 trucks and trailers, and they helped me move everything. They didn't help me. They did it. They wouldn't even let me help. They moved everything out of storage over to my house to put in this sale. And he's taken me out to eat 100 times. I don't know. He's done all kinds of things also. And then Brandon, he actually came over and weed-eated my whole yard one day when I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, if I did walk, I'd fall down, so I couldn't do any weed eating. And then Amy, she was an angel from the very get-go. She ran the pet motel, and she helped me out with all these sales and everything. She came and saw me in the hospital, and I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. I probably am, but I just thank the Lord for sending me these angels in my time of need. Because I'm sure you're just like me. You don't want to ask anybody for help. I surely didn't. But there comes a time when you don't have a choice. You just kind of got to swallow your pride and ask for help. And I can't thank everybody enough for being there for me when I needed them. Thanks again, everybody, for putting up with my ramblings and tuning in every week. Please hit that thumbs up button to like this video. Share it with your family and friends. Comment in the comment section if you want. Subscribe if you hadn't already. And I'll see you next week.